Good evening, everyone. My name is Aparna Guravni. I'm a soft skills training consultant, and today with us we have a very distinguished personality. His name is Ashish Gurav. He is an consultant and an EI facilitator. He has worked with a lot of corporates, college students, and working professionals in one topic, that is emotional intelligence. Ashish is also an proud alumni of Ferguson College and he is an avid traveler. In fact, he has discovered his passion for training and facilitation during his traveling days. So, Ashish, welcome to our session.
Good evening, Aparna. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Great. Ashish, I want to start this session by asking you something which is very close to your heart, that is traveling. How did you discover your passion for training and facilitation during traveling? So, can you tell us something more about it?
Okay, so there is a story, and I will start with the story. And this is a true story. Okay, so after my class 12th, I wanted to prepare for UPSC Civil Service examination. So I went to Pune. I did my graduation from Ferguson College, and after that, I started preparing for UPSC Civil Service examination. So initially, there was I was high on self confidence, I was high on self esteem, there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of positivity. Yeah, but then as I started appearing for my UPSC attempts, I realized that I'm not in a position to clear the UPSC prelims for first 2 consecutive years. So there was a lot of stress, a lot of self doubt. Somehow I cleared my prelims in 2017. I appeared for the mains. But again, in the year 2018, there was a lot of stress. I saw that there was a lot of self doubt, a lot of self criticism. And I realized that I'm in a miserable position. There is something wrong with my life and I should do something about it. So, in that moment, in the year 2018, I took a break. It was meant for unlearning and relearning. And for unlearning, I started traveling. So, initially, I went to Goa, then I went to Himachal Pradesh, Jammu, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Goa. It went on for 4 months. And during that journey, first realization was that traveling should be an integral part of my life, because I realized that I could learn a lot which I could not learn for last 26, 27 years. I learned all that in just 4 months because of that solo travel. So I realized that traveling should be an integral part of my life. Second realization was that during my travel I was visiting different schools. I conducted a lot of training sessions on life skills, informal training sessions, and there I realized that I am good at facilitating the learning process. So after my travel, after my journey, I decided that traveling and training, these two things are going to be at the center of my life. So this is how it began.
That's wonderful to know, Ashish. Ashish, you are the founder of EQ for Wellbeing. I want to know from you, why only EQ? Why not any other topic for training?
Okay. So before EQ, there is some other priority, and I will connect that with EQ. Okay. And again, it has a story. So I've got so many stories.
Lovely.
In the year 2015, I went on to attend a Vipassana training session. So in that Vipassana training session, you have to observe silence and you have to meditate for at least 12 to 13 hours every day. So imagine one person is observing silence. There is no chit chat going in your mind and you're doing meditation continuously for 13 to 14 hours. So after the training session, I realized that I was feeling a lot of peace from within. There was a lot of inner peace, and I was quite comfortable with that. I was in love with that inner peace, and there I realized that inner peace is very important for me, right? And then came year 2018. From UPSC, I shifted to training industry. I started conducting training sessions on EI. During my training sessions, I realized that inner peace is not just important to me; it's important for everyone. So during our informal conversations, most of the participants told me that inner peace is their priority too. Just they don't talk about it. They want inner peace. They want to experience that inner peace. Again, during these training sessions, I realized that empathy and compassion, they can bring about a lot of change in this world. So I started imagining what will happen if every person on this earth becomes empathetic and compassionate. So I was able to see that this world will become a beautiful place if everyone starts practicing empathy and compassion. There will be lesser conflicts, lesser scope for world wars. There will be a lot of scope for cooperation and collaboration, right? And I
Yes.
realized that empathy and compassion is very much important. And in the same process, I came across some of the writings by Dalai Lama, and I realized that through empathy and compassion, we can address world peace as well, right? So my starting journey started from inner peace. In between, I realized that there is empathy and compassion, and I was able to connect it to the world peace. So now at EQ for Wellbeing, we are on a mission to address world peace through inner peace, and we are doing it by our training interventions on emotional intelligence. That is the
That's
reason why we are doing our focusing majorly on EI and mindfulness. Our
that,
aim is to address world peace.
that is amazing. So I am very happy to know that we all are chasing materialistic pleasures, but during your training interventions, you realized or you discovered that everyone is chasing inner peace. So that is really something amazing to know.
Yeah.
Um, Ashish, we are living in very, very uncertain times. The corona pandemic has surged again in Maharashtra, in India. And last year, we've seen so much of havoc created due to the pandemic. In such a case, what is the role of emotional intelligence? Why should one learn about it and why should one practice it?
Okay. So we'll start with simple thing. I always like to start with the basics. So initially we need to understand what is emotional intelligence. So there are two words, emotion and intelligence. So what it means is that you have to become smart about your emotions. What do you mean by emotional intelligence? Just become smart about your emotions. That's it. And that is how you become emotionally intelligent. Now the first question will be, why should I become smart about my emotions? So here is my answer. We have got different categories of emotions. I will categorize them into two categories: one, constructive emotions, and destructive emotions. Let's first talk about destructive emotions. In my opinion, anger, fear, worry, jealousy, hatred, these are destructive emotions. Let's understand. Suppose I'm getting angry time and again, time and again, time and again. So this excessive anger will destroy my relationships. Let's talk about fear. Suppose I'm working in an organization in a leadership position, but I'm getting afraid time and again, time and again, time and again. So can I take risks if I'm afraid all the time?
No.
I can't, no.
Yeah.
But as a leader, you should take constant risks. Then only you can progress, no.
Yes.
So in order to progress in your professional life, you need to overcome your fear, right? Let's talk about worry as well. We keep on worrying all the time about different topics. It starts from yourself, your family, to the world, and to the nation, and to the planet as a whole. But simply worrying about things is not going to change anything. What do we do when we're worrying? We are just overthinking, overthinking, overthinking. We do nothing when we're in the process of worrying, right?
Yeah.
So again, see the destructive impact of worry. It is draining your energy, but it is not helping you in achieving anything. So emotions, destructive emotions, anger, fear, worry, that affect your personal life. At the same time, they affect your professional life too, right? So this is the impact of destructive emotions on your life on one hand. But on the other hand, we do have some constructive emotions like love, kindness, joy, compassion, trust. These emotions, they help us to become the best version of ourselves. We help others when we are happy, right? Our relationships blossom when there is compassion, when there is empathy, when there is a lot of understanding. So on one hand, emotions have got a destructive effect. On the second hand, emotions do have a constructive effect. So in emotional intelligence, you understand that you have the power to choose your emotions. You have the power to choose between the destructive and the constructive part of your own emotions, right? And in this, we have two components. One, understand your own emotions and manage them. The second component talks about understand the emotions of people around you and managing them. So these are the two parts. Now you might ask, how do I become emotionally intelligent? What are the steps?
Yes.
So I will suggest first step, develop friendship with your emotions, right? Most of the people, they have read a lot about emotions, but they are not familiar with their own working of their own emotions, right? Most of the people, they don't know how their anger is affecting them, how their fear is affecting them, how jealousy is affecting them, how laughter is affecting them, right? So first step, develop friendship with your emotions. Second, understand the impact of different emotions. Which emotions are helping you to become the best person? Which emotions are pulling you back? What are the areas where you need to work? So understand the impact. Third, learn to express your emotions appropriately, right? So emotions, as we have seen, they have destroying effect, they have constructive effect. So you need to understand how to use them in a proper way, right? How to express them. And the last factor is to use your emotions for achieving your goals, for managing your emotions to achieve your goals. Now, how can we relate this to the current situation? So in this situation, most of the people, they are undergoing stress, anxiety. There is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stress. People have lost their jobs. So what can we do is we can again get back to the inner peace, right? So inner peace is not dependent on the external factors. You can have that sense of inner peace by focusing inwards, right? And you can do that easily by practicing small things, right? Like meditating, understanding your emotions, giving time for self-care, building self-love. So I think these are the things that we can integrate in our day-to-day life, right?
That's
So there is a
great.
lot of stress. So we need to give that space. We need to understand ourselves. We need to become compassionate towards ourselves. We need to extend empathy to our own inner self, right? And if we are able to accept ourselves, if we're able to develop friendship with ourselves, we can tackle all the difficulties which are there in this current pandemic.